Ladies and gentlemen, corruption is a curse in this country. And the fountainheads of this culture are bureaucrats and politicians. There is a scam every time you open the newspaper. Mining scam, job for land scam, teachers recruitment scam, chicky scam, palm tree scam. I could go on and on. This culture of corruption percolates from the top and reaches the bottom. And it's citizens like you and me who pay the price. But is alleged corruption becoming a tool for the government to target the opposition with? Well, that is what the opposition often alleges, that agencies like the ED are used as poll agents for the BJP to bring down opponents. Is there any truth to what the opposition is saying? Today, the Supreme Court shed some light on that question. They didn't answer that question, they shed some light on it. The Supreme Court has put a stay on the ED investigation into an alleged 2,000 crore rupee liquor scam in the state of Chhattisgarh. The court says no action will be taken by the ED till further orders. Chhattisgarh is ruled by the Congress party and there is an election there round the corner. The state government has told the court in an affidavit that the ED has been threatening and torturing at least 53 officers of the excise department and pressurizing them to implicate the chief minister. The state government has told the court that the ED is harassing state officers who have received notices to disclose their properties so that their properties can be attached. After hearing the Chhattisgarh government submissions, the bench headed by Justice S.K. Kaul today put a stay on these investigations by the ED. On July 4th, the ED had presented a 16,000-page charge sheet against 5 accused in this so-called scam in a Raipur court. But earlier in May, the Supreme Court had told the ED not to create an atmosphere of fear. It didn't stop there. The bench also told the ED counsel, and I quote, "Let there be some confidence of the common man in these agencies. Otherwise, even a bona fide cause becomes suspect." Is that what has happened to the credibility of our agencies, that every time there is a raid on an opposition politician, our first thought is, this is politically motivated? And that thought, ladies and gentlemen, is based on the fact that 95% of ED cases against netas are against opposition politicians. And the ED's conviction rate right now is less than 1%, despite what they claim. Today, the Prime Minister once again has called the united opposition that was meeting in Bangalore a coalition of the corrupt. Listen into that first.
देश की जनता कह रही है कि ये तो कट्टर भ्रष्टाचारी सम्मेलन हो रहा है, कट्टर भ्रष्टाचारी सम्मेलन हो रहा है.
My guest this evening, Amit Chimnani, is the state media in charge of the Chhattisgarh BJP. He's joining us on the broadcast. K. Choudhury is a political analyst, speaks on behalf of the Congress party. And N R Wasan is a former Director General of the NIA and a former Joint Director of the CBI as well. He's joining us on the broadcast as well. Amit Chimnani, I'm going to start with you, because the allegation often comes against the BJP-run government at the center that they utilize the ED and the CBI as tools, as political tools. Often the opposition calls you a political agent for the BJP, calls the ED a political agent for the BJP. Please help me understand how the Chhattisgarh BJP is viewing what has happened in the Supreme Court today. It's clear that the Supreme Court has found some merit in what the state government is saying, that 52 of its excise department officials are being tortured and harassed simply because the ED wants them to implicate the chief minister in this so-called 2,000 crore rupee liquor scam.
Process is going on this issue, and Honorable Court is looking after this. So it would be inappropriate to comment on the verdict of court because the final verdict is yet to come. But it is an established fact at Chhattisgarh that this government is the government of corruption. I want to share a great fact with you. You will also be surprised with this fact. Even a pan vendor in Chhattisgarh knows that the government is maintaining two counters for liquor. One counter is legal and one was illegal. Before the ED raids, the revenue of the state government from the sale of liquor was 4,500 crores per year. And after the ED raids, it suddenly came to 7,000 crores. There is a hike of 2,500 crore in a short span of 6 months. So how it is possible? Nobody is able to understand how it went. So this is a special fact. And one more fact, those who are accused, those who are arrested by the ED, they are not getting bail. Those who are arrested, the ED has seized kilo of gold, the unaccounted money, lakhs of money, the immovable properties, and so many other things. And the government is trying to protect those accused. So it is very much clear that government is part of this scam, and the judiciary is looking after the case. But in many months,
चिमनानी
those
जी
who
फिर
are
सवाल का
arrested are
सवाल
not
ठीक है
getting
ठीक है
the
ठीक
bail.
है ठीक है ठीक है no you have a point there चिमनानी जी Amit you have a point there you are saying that those who have been arrested have not got bail so there's a reason why they have not got bail I understand that is a good point you are making but Amit please help me understand then why if there was such a big scam right and if the ED was simply doing its job professionally, why has the ED then been asked by the Supreme Court to stall its investigations and not to take a step till further orders? कोई तो कारण होगा ना?
It is very much
छत्तीसगढ़ सरकार ने एफिडेविट में अमित लिख के दिया है. They have put it down on an affidavit. The state government has put it down on an affidavit that 53 state excise department officials want to quit because they are being harassed and tortured because the ED wants them to implicate and name the chief minister in this so-called scam. कुछ तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने देखा होगा ना कि छत्तीसगढ़ सरकार गलत नहीं कह रही है, ठीक कह रही है इस मामले में.
See, nothing new in that. छत्तीसगढ़ सरकार पहले दिन से he is with the makers of corruption. और कोई वकील उनका है नहीं, उनकी वकील छत्तीसगढ़ की सरकार है. मुख्यमंत्री सबसे पहले आते हैं और ये कहते हैं कि मैं इनके साथ खड़ा हूं, आई एम विद देम, दोज हु आर नॉट गेटिंग बेल. जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है, मैं फिर से कहूंगा, it would not be appropriate to comment on that because it is not the final verdict. But जो यहाँ का हाई कोर्ट है, the High Court of Chhattisgarh, why it is not granting bail, and what about the money seized? What about the billion seized? What about the two counters of liquor? And what about the revenue hike of Chhattisgarh government from the sale of liquor?
Okay. Mr. Choudhury, fact is, you're defending the Congress's position today. The fact is, they often say there is no smoke without fire. That the ED has to have something on which it builds its case. All right, today the Chhattisgarh government has got a breather. That the Supreme Court has said that the ED can take no action till further instructions. I understand that this is a setback for the ED, but the ED will turn around and say, if we have something on someone, why will we not go and investigate that?
You must understand the modus operandi, how the ED works or how the BJP government is trying to work in this country. First of all, the first step in this modus operandi is manufacture some scams out of nowhere, implicate opposition leaders, and then take them into the NDA fold by hook or by crook. That is the modus operandi. Prior to the Karnataka elections, we saw number of income tax raids in Karnataka. Now, just before the elections in Tamil Nadu or elections in Chhattisgarh, you can see all these types of raids are happening. Now, few weeks ago, I believe, the Supreme Court has also stopped the ED from, stopped the government from extending the, the tenure of the ED chief out there. Then you see this, the modus operandi of the BJP government is such as that. We all know, in the first place, we all know that India is fighting a very difficult battle against corruption. but then genuine corruption cases are being overshadowed by those manufactured cases. Now, if you see, a few days ago, the finance ministry has brought out their notification bringing the GST under the PMLA. Now, what does this imply? Genuine traders are now going to be harassed for the sake of giving money or donations to the BJP. अगर आप नहीं दोगे पैसा, डोनेशन नहीं करोगे, तो आपके अगेंस्ट में PMLA लगा दिया जाएगा. This is the atmosphere of fear that is being prevalent in the country under this regime. It's not only that the Chhattisgarh government is trying to come out clean, it is coming out clean against the officers of the department. We must understand these officers have nothing to do, or maybe do, but then you have got something in this entire scam investigation that is going on. They are trying to implicate our chief minister, Baghel Saab. He is one of the most honest chief ministers that Chhattisgarh has got in recent history. Now, when the elections are coming, we all know what successive opinion polls are telling about Chhattisgarh. BJP does not stand a chance out there. So I believe this entire liquor policy scam or whatever it is, we have seen that how the how the ED is going after the government officials, how they are going after the politicians in the state, how they are trying to implicate Bhupesh Baghel ji.
No, but
so this is not a one-off incident out here. They are as and when the elections are coming in.
No, I understand what you're saying.
The ED, income tax, or the CBI will be making the movement more.
Okay, I understand what you're saying in. But let's be clear about one fact, that the ED has stalled investigations of the Supreme Court has stalled investigations of the ED in this one case in Chhattisgarh. But the fact is that Abhishek Banerjee of the TMC, for example, had gone to the Supreme Court to get a stay on the investigations by the ED against him. The Supreme Court hasn't stayed it. So let's not pretend and assume that every case that the ED puts against a politician is politically motivated. And even if it is politically motivated, the fact is, as I said, there can be no smoke without fire. Does it mean that the hands of all our politicians are dirty? Probably they are. But Mr. Wasan, just look at the numbers we have. This is an investigation that was done by the Indian Express, and I often quote this. Since 2014, there has been a fourfold jump in ED cases. I'm going to repeat this for our viewers. Since 2014, there has been a fourfold jump in ED's cases against politicians. 95% are from the opposition. 95%. So when people like me or regular citizens who are watching these raids and who are, watching these ED cases play out in courts and otherwise through raids, etc., we think to ourselves, oh, this must be politically motivated because there is an election around the corner. What has this done to the ED's own reputation and credibility, sir?
You see, let's look at the basic issue. One fact which is clear to all of us, and we may pretend that we don't know, the corruption has increased by leaps and bounds. Whichever political party is governing whichever state. Means this is a hard truth. Now, whether ED is being misused or any other organization of the central government is being misused, it is, it often becomes a political debate. And the facts which you have given, that there is a fourfold increase in number of cases. But on the other side, yes, there is a large number of cases being registered against perhaps people who belong to other political parties or other political groups. But the fact remains that the seizure of huge money or huge bullion or lands and other properties would indicate that there is corruption. Now, one way to look at it is that yes, the organization of the government of India, or for that matter, any law enforcement agency should be objective and should apply law in a uniform manner, irrespective of the political party, group, or religion any person belongs to. But that does not happen in reality. The investigation agencies do get impacted by the political bosses, whichever state or center they are there. Not that the state governments where the opposition governments are there, they are not misusing the agency. Every political party misuses the agency if it gets to use them against others. It should not happen, but unfortunately it happens. So the public perception that it is being misused, sometimes to some extent, I can say that is justified. But then coming to today's order of the Supreme Court, let's see what the Supreme Court has ordered. Because basically the PMLA sections have been challenged on the premise that these are against the constitutionally granted fundamental rights. Number one, nobody can
Correct.
be asked to be a witness against oneself. That means even if hypothetically I am accused, I cannot be forced to make a statement against myself. I cannot be forced to give evidence against myself. So that basic premise, because section 50 and 63 of PMLA have provision that a person can be asked to give a statement bringing out the truth, and if he does not speak the truth, he can be proceeded against. So that very basis of the section has been challenged in the Supreme Court. It was challenged earlier also, it was upheld. But now again, the same sections have been challenged. I think Supreme Court in his wisdom has decided to re-examine that issue, whether it is against the constitutionally granted fundamental rights and these sections stand that scrutiny or not. So that I think we will have to wait how the Supreme Court comes out with a judgment.
Okay, you know where this perception of the ED being very happy to be used as a tool of the ruling dispensation comes from. It comes from the fact that you see only opposition leaders being raided. Only opposition leaders, the ED sweeping down only on opposition leaders. For example, you all remember the wads of note that came tumbling out of a BJP MLA in Karnataka. The question then asked was, where is the ED in this case? Why is it that the ED becomes active only in opposition ruled states? Why not in Uttar Pradesh? Is Uttar Pradesh corruption free? Are all netas in Uttar Pradesh absolutely clean? No, they aren't. But why do we not see these raids in Uttar Pradesh or Maharashtra or Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh? The fact is that an agency, this is, Mr. Choudhury, you want to come in, but the fact is that agencies often forget, whether it's the CBI or the ED, that they are important tools to keep this country honest.
No.
We require the ED and we require the CBI because they are supposed to keep this, just a minute, they're supposed to keep this country honest. That's their role. Their role is not to be used as political agents of whoever is in power. Yes, Mr. Choudhury, come in. I have exactly 10 seconds. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I support what Mr. Wasan has said just now, but the basic point is here, you see, all those corrupt leaders who have been accused by the Bharatiya Janata Party, Narendra Modi ji and others, are now somehow finding a clean sheet once they switch over their sides to the NDA. Take the example of Ajit Pawar and his MLAs or MPs are right now, they have switched sides. You take the case of Hemanta Biswa Sharma, accused in the Sarada scam, in the Louis Barger scam case. You take the case of Subhendu Adhikari. These are numerous examples that I can cite that once they switched over to the BJP or the NDA, that leads to the perception that we are claiming out here is that the ED, CBI and the income tax are being used just to harass political opponents to change their ideological position or change their sides politically.
अमित, मैं आपको 10 सेकंड दूंगी क्योंकि चार्ज ये बीजेपी के खिलाफ है.
I just want to make a statement about Mr. Choudhury's statement that Mr. Bhupesh Baghel is a very honest chief minister. How he can give certificate, I don't know. But an honest chief minister should not protect those who are accused. He should say that let's make an inquiry, let agencies do their work. I'll also make an inquiry. How he can protect that person from their houses?
You have not
50
answered.
lakhs of cash agencies. How he can protect? He should say that let's make an inquiry. If he is honest, how he is behaving like a lawyer of the corruption makers.
Now answer. No, that fair point. It's a very fair point. But Amit, please tell me, how is it that Ajit Pawar is suddenly clean. Today, the Prime Minister has rained quite a number of missiles on the opposition, saying, "Ye to sab bhrashtachariyon ki jamaat hai." How is Ajit Pawar suddenly clean?
Who has
How is Himanta
prevented?
Biswa Sarma clean? How is Shubhendu Adhikari suddenly clean?
Who is stopping
Because they've now
those
come to the
leaders,
BJP.
those leaders, those
The BJP
making
is Ma
these
Ganga.
statements to go to the court? अगर ऐसा कोई कह रहा है तो who is preventing? Go to the court, submit the proofs. Court will make an inquiry. अगर है तो why
Amit,
you are making the
that is
political
not an
statement
answer to
for
the
it?
question I'm asking. No. That is not the question I asked you. What do you mean by, if someone has a problem with Ajit Pawar not being investigated, with Shubhendu Adhikari not being investigated, if Himanta Biswa Sarma not being investigated, they should go to court. That's not the answer.
See, I can
That's
only
not
say
the
that
answer. The
I am
point
representing
is
the
that there
Chhattisgarh
are
state and,
tainted
they
netas
just
who
want
have
to
joined the BJP
discuss
and
about
suddenly the taint has
corruption
been
rate by
washed
the
away.
Chhattisgarh government. I just humbly want to
Okay,
clarify
we'll leave it there
that
for
I
the
am
moment.
representing Chhattisgarh BJP, and that
Okay.
I just want to speak on the issues of corruption of Chhattisgarh government.
Okay. Okay, Amit, we leave it there. Look, you represent the BJP, above representing the BJP from Chhattisgarh, but fair point if you don't want to comment on it. These are uncomfortable questions. We'll leave it there for the moment. Amit, thank you very much. Mr. Choudhury, thank you very much. N R Wasan, thank you very much as well. I'm stepping into a quick break on the show. There's much more news coming up on the other side. You know, there were two big meetings today. One, in fact, is currently underway in the national capital. We were expecting the Prime Minister to speak at 5:30. It's almost 8:30. He hasn't. So let's see when he does. But we are going across to that story after the break, so do stay with us.